Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to one of my amazing classes. Thank you so much if you've been following along and if you've been trying new classes and enjoying them. Today's class is going to be, it's one of the classes that I do during kind of a full moon, because for me a full moon means that we are trying to bring everything that we've been manifesting and putting our intentions on throughout the new moon into fruition. So this class is going to focus kind of on setting that intention or focusing on those intentions that you have made in the past or during the new moon cycle, if you even do that, because I'm weird and I don't know how many people do that, but even if you have an intention of something that you've wanted to focus on more recently or something that you've had on your mind, it can be something like that. So this class will kind of try to focus in on that thing that has been in the back of your head or something that you've been trying to work on, and we'll try to bring that into fruition, like I said. This class is good for beginners or moderates. You won't necessarily need a block, but I brought one just in case for one of the poses. If you don't have a block, you can always just have some sort of steady surface in front of you, or you can have a book there, that way you can kind of put your weight and put your hand on it. Other than that, that is all that I have for you. So when you're ready, we'll go ahead and get on the mat and come into tabletop position so we can get some cat-cows started, which I'm clearly obsessed with because I'm now starting to realize that I start like all of my classes with cat-cow, but that's fine. I like it, so whatever. So you can have your toes tucked or untucked, shoulders stacked over your wrists, hips stacked over your ankles. On the inhale, you'll look up towards the sky, dropping your chest towards the ground. And exhale, tucking the chin as you wrap it up. Inhale, coming into cow. And exhale. So go ahead and take your own sort of variations during this. As I mentioned, I'm obsessed with cat-cow, so if you've done a class with me before, you are definitely familiar with this type of movement. So just remember to go with your own breath. If your body is needing a little bit extra today, you can move into your sides. You can get back into a little bit of a child's pose first. Come up onto your tented fingers, whatever you need. My body is growing sore, because pretty much all I do at home is just yoga. So I'm going to do a little extra. Side to side. Let's do one more round. Okay, once you come into a neutral position, you're going to tuck your feet if they're not already, and exhale as you push back into down dog. And go ahead and go through the same motion. So take any sort of pose, variation, bend into your knees as much as you have to. Anything that you need to kind of wake up the body. Making sure that your weight is in between your forefinger and thumb. And from here, your inhale, lift your right leg up. And to exhale, bring it straight through your hands, dropping it into a low lunge. So inching your foot up a little bit closer so that your knee is not over your ankle. And inhale. First, bring your arms up and overhead. And then you're going to bring your hands towards the bottom portion of your back. So you can have your fingers facing upwards or towards the side. But this way, we're just going to kind of tilt back a little bit more. So we want to open up the chest. That's one of the main things that I like to focus on when I'm bringing something into rotation is opening up the chest. So I'm letting it out and I'm also receiving. Good. If this is too much, you can always come out of it. Good. And then push your right hand on the mat and then bring your left hand up and overhead. If you cannot reach the mat, that's where your block can come into place, or you can just let your arm hang. Good. And exhale, release. We'll push back into downward dog. Taking those same variations, you might pedal the feet. You can bend deeply into the knees to push the hips up and back. And on your next inhale, lift the left leg up. And exhale, swing it through, dropping down into low lunge. Again, adjusting your foot if you need to. Coming up, first bring your arms up and overhead before we swing them around and gently push on our lower back. I like to tip my head back a little bit as well. That's helping to open up my chest. Good. Go ahead and release your left hand onto the mat, swinging your right arm up and overhead. Once again, you can just hover if that's a little bit too intense for you. Breathing into the right side body. Good. Swing your arms back down and stepping back into down dog. And on your next inhale, look up in between your hands and slowly walk your feet up towards the top end of the mat, bending into your knees as much as possible, and swinging back and forth a little bit. Making sure that your neck and your head is heavy. Slowly roll all the way up. So we inhale the arms up and overhead. Grasping the left wrist with your right hand, you're going to exhale and dip your body over to the right, feeling that side stretch all through the left. Inhale back to center, and exhale, switching sides. Inhale back to center. Exhale, hands to heart center, Samasthiti. So I promise I'm working on trying to get music because I know that the birds and probably my voice is really annoying. So just stay tuned for music. But we're going to go through kind of this new moon cycle type of thing. So we are going to focus on more chest openers as well as opening up the hips. So coming to the top of the mat, placing our big toes together, small gap in our heel, Samasthiti. Inhale, arms will rise up and overhead. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, you'll halfway lift so that your hands are on your shins. And exhale, stepping back. From here, you can either take a chaturanga or you can meet us directly into down dog. And then from here, inhale, right leg rises, and exhale, sweep it through. From here, you're going to turn all 10 toes over to the right-hand side. So you're in kind of this low lunge position. Toes are facing, well, for me, away from the camera, for you, probably towards the couch or the TV. And then from here, we're going to dip our hips as we reach back towards our left foot. And then inhale, As we lift up, we're going to bring our arm up and overhead. So we're really feeling a lot of stretch in our outer hip and IT. Good. Place your right hand on the mat, and from here we're going to walk our hands over to the other side of the mat. So I just walked right in front of you. You can do the exact same thing. So now we're going to come into kind of this left leg lunge. And we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to turn all of our 10 toes, this time over to the left-hand side. Exhale as we reach back towards our right foot. And inhale as we arch up and overhead. Good. Exhale. Bring the foot back up towards the other one. Inhale, halfway lift, hands are on your shins. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms up and overhead. Exhale, samasthiti. So from here, we're going to place our arms up and overhead as we inhale. And to exhale, this time we're going to place our hands on our lower back. So you can exhale into the stretch here, not going back too far, making sure that your elbows are trying to touch one another. Good. Inhale, coming back up into mountain, and to exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, and to exhale, chaturanga. Same thing, you can come directly into down dog if you'd like. Good, this time we're going to switch sides. So inhale, lifting the left leg up. Exhale, swing it through. Turning all 10 toes over to the left-hand side. We're going to exhale, and then inhale as we come up and overhead. Good. And then same thing. Walking all the way towards the long end of the mat. Coming into that low lunge on the right-hand side. Turning our feet towards the right. You might have to adjust the foot back like I'm doing. Dipping down as we reach back. And then lifting the hips up as we lift our arms up and overhead. Good. Bringing back, bringing left foot to meet right. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, fold. Inhale, up and overhead. Exhale, samasthiti. So same thing, we're going to go through one more full round of that, both on the right and the left-hand side. So inhale, to lift our arms up and overhead, and exhale as we place them on our lower back. So by placing them on our lower back, we're actually helping to protect it as well. As we come into our back bend, our elbows are trying to actively reach towards one another, and then you're just stepping back as far as you can. You don't want to feel any strain in your lower back. Good. Coming out. Inhale before you exhale. Inhale, hands to shins. And exhale, stepping back, your version. Good. Immediately lifting the right leg up and overhead. Exhale, swinging it through. Turning all 10 toes over to the right. You know the drill, reaching back towards our left foot, and then up and overhead. So we slowly plant the right hand, walking our bodies all the way towards the left. Before we plant the right hand, left toes come towards the one side. Dip as we reach back. And inhale as we bring our arm up and overhead. Good. Right foot comes to meet left. Inhale, hands to shin. And exhale, forward fold. And inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, coming immediately into it. So hands will come to the low back position. Again, taking your time, taking your own variation. Inhale, arms come up and overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, hands to shin. This is the last round. And exhale, chaturanga. Good. Immediately inhaling as we bring that left leg up. Exhale, sweeping it through, low lunge. Turning the toes over to the left as we exhale, reach back. Inhale, come up and overhead. Good. Slowly walking over towards the other side. You guys are doing amazing. All 10 toes go over to the right. As we exhale, reach back. And inhale. Stepping the left foot to meet the right. Inhale, hands to shin. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms will come up and overhead. Exhale, Samasthiti. Good job. So we did that full circuit 4 times. So your lower back should be feeling open, your chest should be feeling a lot more open. Pretty much everything is feeling a lot more open. From here, you're going to step back with your left foot towards the wide side of your mat, coming straight into goddess. So our heels are pointed inwards, our toes are pointed out. So just make sure as you sink that you're trying to sink as low as you possibly can into this goddess position. And from here, we're going to bring our arms out and do kind of that cat and cow-like motion. So on the inhale, we're going to push our chest forward. And then exhale, we're going to bring our palms together. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Good job. Bringing our arms back into that T position. We're going to straighten the left leg and come into a warrior 2. So back leg is straight, 90-degree angle. This is where your block will come into play. So we're going to come straight into Ardha Chandrasana, which is half moon position. So if you know that you are going to need a block or need some sort of stabilizing surface, make sure that you go ahead and grab that. I'll use a block just so I can show you kind of what I mean. So we're in our warrior 2. And then from here, you're just going to pop up onto your right stabilizing leg, and then bring your leg into an L shape, and then your left arm up and overhead. All right? So popping forward. This is the challenge, is you're going to try to maintain your balance. So again, I'm going to use the block to kind of show you. It's even harder with the block for me, because I'm so good. So my leg is in an L shape, and then I'm bringing my arm up and overhead. So the challenge is just to stay here, unless you are the best yogi in the entire world. You should feel your right leg shaking, all of those little muscles. If you can bend into the left leg, grabbing the left foot, and then kick back. Kick back into your heel. So you'll also get a quad stretch. Let's see if I can do it. Good. As you slowly come out of it, come back into warrior 2. So as you can see, I'm not perfect. I try all of these different poses. I'm on a different surface as well, right? That's my excuse. So just kind of play with it. And from here, you'll cartwheel down and come into your version of chaturanga. Inhale as you look in between your hands, and exhale as you walk your feet all the way towards your hands. Inhale, hands to shin. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale, we'll come all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. So this time you're going to step back with your right foot. So you're going to be facing the other wide portion of the mat. I'm going to still face you guys so that you can see me, obviously. So again, coming into that goddess pose, our toes are pointed outwards. We're making sure that our knees are tracking over our ankles and coming into that same cat-cow motion. So on the inhale, splitting our arms wide back behind us. And exhale, contracting. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Good. So since you are technically facing the other side of the mat, you'll come into Warrior Two on the left side. So just adjust your feet appropriately. Bend down into the left leg. If you were using the block or the prop on the other side, make sure to grab it and bring it. Well, I guess it wouldn't matter because I'm the only one that's doing this today. So never mind, just make sure that it's there for you and that you're doing the same thing on the left as you are for the right and preparing for that half moon pose that I mentioned. So pivoting onto your left foot, tilting your hand down, using the block if necessary, and then settling yourself into the half moon. Engaging your core. This is challenging for anybody. So take your version. If you want to take that same challenge where you're bending the right leg and doing a quad stretch, you can. And if you do have the quad stretch, push the foot actively against your hand. You should feel a much, much larger stretch. Good. Go ahead and release. Coming back into that Warrior Two position briefly. And then from here, you'll cartwheel down. So I'm going to just hop down onto the other side so that we're both facing the same side of the mat. Good. And then taking this time to reset. So using the down dog as a reset. If you want to take your inhales through your nose and your exhales through your mouth, that'll help to slow the heart rate down a little bit. Good. From here, we're going to come into Balasana, which is Yogi Squat. So inhale, looking in between your hands, and exhale, slowly walking through, making sure that your feet are as wide as your mat, and then sinking down into Balasana. So trying to keep your back as straight as possible. You're pushing your elbows against your knees. If this is too much, as I've demonstrated, you can just come into like a little squat and hold it there. And then from here, as we inhale, we're just going to come straight up into mountain, and then exhale, fold. So we're folding over those wide legs. You can grab onto your calves or onto your ankles or onto your big toes, whichever you prefer. And then as you exhale, you're just going to pull your chest in towards your legs. Elbows are out wide. Good. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, we'll step it back to chaturanga. Good. We're going to come into down dog briefly. Before we inhale, come into a high plank and hold it here. So I like to do kind of a high plank, so I'm trying to actively push my shoulders away from each other. Holding it here for 3, 2, 1, and then we're going to lower onto our stomachs. So if you have a block or anything near you, you can go ahead and place it kind of off to the side. I don't have really anywhere to put it. And then from here, we're just going to come into Superman. So on the inhale, you're going to lift your quads off the mat and then lift your arms off the mat. Making sure that your neck is neutral. Holding it here for 3, 2, 1, release. I like to shake my hips out a little bit. You can even make a pillow with your hands. Lifting back up, we're going to come into a quad stretch, so bending into that right leg. You're going to push up onto your left elbow, reach back for the foot with your right hand, and then slightly pull it towards your ass. Go ahead and release. Switching sides, bending into the right, or inside the left. Slowly bringing the foot towards your ass. Good. And release. From here, you're going to bring your hands under your elbows and push back into Balasana or active child's pose. Making sure that your elbows are off the mat. Briefly coming up into tabletop before we exhale and push back into down dog. Good. From here, we're going to slowly walk our hands up towards, God, I keep saying hands like we're like monkey people. These are feet, so walk your feet up. Inhale, hands come to shins. To exhale, good. And then inhale, arms up and overhead. So when you have your hands up and overhead, I want you to keep your hands in kind of this prayer position. You're going to bend your elbows back behind you as if you're doing these tricep dips. And then from here, you're going to bend the right foot. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to meet our hands to our right foot. Don't worry if they don't. I have never met anybody that can do that, but just trying to open up your chest and then bring that back foot towards your hands. Good. Exhale, release. Switching sides. bending into the left, and then slowly trying to meet foot to hand. Good. And release. Separating our feet once again as wide as the mat. We're going to sit down directly into Malasana. So exhale as you come all the way down. Just making sure, open up the hips a little bit more. Good. From here, place your hands on the mat and then just bring your legs behind you. Come into seated on heels position really quickly. We're going to come into, it's kind of like a dancer camel variation because we are going to come into camel to open up the chest and stretch out the lower back, but we're going to kind of do these arm sweeping movements across. If it doesn't make sense, let me try to explain it, and if I can't explain it, then just good luck. So come up onto your knees. You can tuck your toes underneath you here. So a normal camel is going to be where you have your hands underneath your lower back here, and then your chest is up towards the sky, gaze is up towards the sky. If you can, you would reach back at this point. But instead of reaching back, I want you to dip down onto your hands, and then as you inhale, you're going to sweep your right arm up and overhead. So you can either grab onto your ankle as you're here, or just place your left hand behind your low back. Inhale. So exhale as we dip down, switching sides. Inhale, sweeping our left hand over our head. Exhale. So that's why I kind of call it this dancer position, because this is what I do in the clubs, but you're more than welcome to steal this move if you'd like. Good, one more round. It's fun too. Good. Coming back into table position. Coming into bird dog, so we'll lift that right leg up and back behind us. And when we're ready, lifting up that left arm. If you cannot lift your left arm, you can just keep it tented and slowly start to lift it here. If you can, come into bird dog. Just holding it here. Slowly exhale. Release, switching sides. Left leg comes out. And when you're ready, right arm comes out in front of you. Making sure to engage your abs to help you. Good. Yeah. This time we're going to keep in a tabletop position. We're just going to flip our wrists back behind us. Coming into those same cat-cows, but doing a little bit more of wrist work. So as you inhale, looking up, you're going to sit back a little bit on your heels, or as much as your wrist will permit you. And exhale. Sitting back a little bit. This is really good for those that are at a computer all day, trying to avoid carpal tunnel, but being very gentle. You'll notice probably that you have a lot less range of motion. And then switching so that your fingers are facing the outside edges of the mat, and then you're just going to go left to right. Go ahead and ease. Sitting back on your heels. I like to shake out my wrists after I do that. You can do little wrist circles. Whichever feels best for you. Staying on seated on heels, you can either stay here if this feels good, or if you want to come with your toes tucked underneath, you can do that as well. Just coming into a little bit of a twist, so hands will come to heart center. As we inhale, we'll lift up a little bit higher, and then exhale, we're just going to pivot over to the right. Inhale, back through center, and exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, back to center. So now that we've done a lot of heart and chest openers, we're going to come into Uttanasana Konasana, so it's kind of a counter stretch. So it's a wide leg fold. So bringing your feet out as wide as you can. On the mat, I have this like ledge to help me, thank God. Making sure that your feet are actively flexed. Inhale, arms will come up and overhead. And exhale, you'll just start to bend over the legs as much as possible. The key is to try to keep your back straight. So as I've mentioned before, I like to try to actively squeeze my shoulder blades and my lats together so that I know that my back is staying straight. When your back is straight, you'll notice that you have a lot less range of motion, but don't worry about that. Just come down as far as you can. We're just going to bend our legs up towards each other. We're going to come into kind of this pigeon variation. So both of our legs are going to be in a 90-degree angle. So from here, you can lean back, and then you're just going to bend and have your legs fall over to the right-hand side. So your right leg should automatically be parallel to the front edge of the mat, keeping your back leg as it is here. And then you're just going to walk over that leg. So you can see that we're kind of in this little pigeon variation, like I said, but both of our legs are at 90 degrees. Back up. Same thing, we're just going to switch our legs over to the other side. So now our left leg is going to be parallel to the back edge of the mat, and then we'll just walk ourselves forward. Feeling an amazing stretch all throughout that outer hip. And we're going to switch to facing towards the front end of the mat. Paschimottanasana, a last position. So we just have both of our legs out straight in front of us. Feet are flexed. And then from here, inhale as we reach our arms up and overhead. And exhale. Again, we're going to try to keep this back as straight as we can. So instead of rounding it here, keeping it straight, which means that you might not be able to come down as far as you'd like. So just grabbing onto whatever part of the leg you can. a little bit. And then from here, you're just going to lower all the way down and come into the traditional Shavasana. Feet towards the outer edges of the mat. Palms facing up towards the sky or the ceiling. Regulating our breath. And coming back to that intention. So what was it that you had chosen to focus on at the beginning of class? Or what has it been that you've been focusing on recently? Whatever it was, try to bring that intention into your everyday life. Staying here as long as you'd like. Thanking yourself for coming to practice today. And we'll see you next time.